Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So I got another part for you guys, Ace Attorney. I'm really curious where this is gonna go. So let's continue where we left off and let's see what's gonna happen now. So I guess we're going back to the investigation now. We're out of the trial. May 11. Temple. What do I do now? I can't believe Maya and I were actually found guilty.
This trial need not be drawn out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charge filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defense Culpability Act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused, Maya Fey, and the defense, Pheonix Wright.
Mr. Wright, I'll be. I saw the whole trial. What's going to happen to Miss Maya now? I'm worried about that too. But right now... I have one more thing to report, Prosecutor Sad Maddie. Yes. This dagger. The thing is, they found the dagger at a separate murder scene. So how could Maya have gotten it there if she was arrested right after the murder? It makes no sense. So that should have cleared her right there. It makes no sense how they're still going after her for that charge. It bears the fingerprints of Maya Fey on it. Right now, I need to focus on the next trial. The murder of Acolyte Zealot, right? Oh, Acolyte Zealot is dead. Oh, at least the jury is still out on that one, so to speak. The two murders are most likely connected. If I can get to the bottom of Acolyte Zealot's murder, it might give me the ammunition I need to overturn Maya's guilty verdict. So, a lot of you guys have actually said in a comment that something crazy is going to happen in this trial. I don't know if it's going to happen in this investigation or next trial or when. But a lot of you guys were actually asking me if I can figure it out before I get to the crucial point, whatever it is. But at this point, I am convinced that the killer is Believe in Me. That's who the killer is. Widow of the victim, she usually plays the part of Lady Kee'ra on the Purification, right? That is who the killer is. So, if Zealot's dead, the killer is, Believe in Me. It could also be possible that Zealot was the original Lady Kee'ra who killed, Terrorist in Me, and then she killed him afterwards to cover it up. But I'm convinced at this point she's the guilty one, Believe in Me, because both of these characters were suspects for me. Puhray Zealot, which is supposed to mean praise a lot, and Believe in Me, but I'm convinced it's Believe in Me now. It's the widow of the victim. She's the killer. Let me help you investigate. I want to assist you any way I can. I appreciate it, Albie, but we're talking about a murder. Yeah, but it's going to be hard for a foreigner to investigate this on his own. You have a point there. I wish I knew what to do. Why is she so upset? Isn't that your benevolence? Princess Rafa? Oh, it is you again. The dead lawyer walking, guilty of abetting a murderer under the Defense Culpability Act. Urgh, I see she hasn't lost any of her charm. What's wrong with her? Why is she so upset? Why the long face? I thought you'd be glad I was found guilty under the DC Act. I am in no mood to take your joy in your suffering. For I was unable to defeat you, and had to leave the job to others. I failed in my sacred duty as the royal priestesses. I guess that answers my question. Have I misunderstood the voice of the Minima yet again? This cannot be. All I did was defend my client. Can't bear to see her looking so sad like this one, though. Your benevolence. Your benevolence! Oh, barbed head. I thought you had already begun your journey to the Twilight Realm. I'm not dead yet. I still have an investigation to do. For tomorrow's trial. What's this? Did you mean to say you have not given up yet? That's right. I'm going to prove my innocent tomorrow. But why? Why do you refuse to give up? I cannot fathom such obstinacy. Investigate all you want. I care not. You really don't mind. But aren't you worried that a lawyer, backed into a corner by the DC Act might do something desperate like forge evidence? What's this? If left unsupervised, I'd be free to do whatever I wanted, you know. He's doing that on purpose just so she walks around with him, so he can basically... So if they don't let him in the crime scene, they're gonna let him because she's with him. He's doing that on purpose. Okay, now to see if she takes the bait. Yes, I see your point. Barbed head. Yes. I know what happened yesterday. You perpetrated some sort of fraud or other misdeed while I was not watching. Huh? That explains why I misunderstood the voice of the High Priest's soul. Yes, of course, that is the only explanation. I was just trying to cheer her up. Now she thinks even less of me. I must not allow you to sully our sacred hall of justice with your misdeeds ever again. Therefore, today, I will be monitoring your every move once more. I will not fail to spot your misdeeds this time. The moment I see anything out of the ordinary, I will send you straight to prison. And you, boy, do you not throw your lot in with this foreign devil. But, your benevolence, it's okay, Albie. You don't need to worry about me. I'll be back before you know it. But first, I should probably lighten up my load a bit. Albie, would you mind holding on to some evidence for me? Of course not. I'm always glad to help. Unnecessary evidence unloaded onto Albie. May the Holy Mother's blessings be upon you. Now then, the scene of the crime is the logical place to start. If I recall correctly, the body was found at the Plaza Devotion. Okay, Plaza of Devotion. We got another body here. May 11. Plaza of Devotion. Looks like the police already finished their investigation. To think someone would be killed here, a place devoted to prayer. A body outline and flowers? Did someone leave them here in memory of the deceased? And there's something different about the prayer flags today. As a High Priest's disciple, Acolyte Zealot was utterly devoted to his training. First a High Priest, and now his devoted disciple. Maya Fey will pay for this. As I keep trying to tell you, Maya has nothing to do with any of this. And you can prove this. How? What do you think I'm doing here? Gathering dirt and dust for the trial? You and your smart mouth. This is precisely why you and your lawyerly ilk are so reviled. Hey, Mr. Wright. Oh, it's Emma. Okay. Emma! It's that detective from your country again. Eep. It's a princess. You seem displeased that I am here. Oh, no. Don't be silly. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry about what happened to Maya. It's not your fault, Emma. You were just doing your job. And if I had just done mine... Mr. Wright. But it's no use crying over spilled milk. Would you mind telling me what you know about the murder? It's do or die in court tomorrow, and I mean that literally. Gladly. I'll help in any way I can. Remember, I have my eyes on the both of you. So see to it that you commit no misdeeds. Of course not. You're talking to a professional here. Well, I'm the professional. The incident. Let's see. How about starting with an overview of what happened? Sure. The victim is Puhray Zealot. Well, that's supposed to mean praise a lot. But his name is a reference to actually two things. Praise a lot, I guess, but also Zealot. Zealot. That's also a reference to... A zealot is somebody who's extremely religious, like to the point that they're basically an extremist. He was the High Priest's disciple. Maybe he was a rebel as well. It's possible entirely. His body was discovered around noon today. Right after the rite wrapped up. So, during the High Priest's murder trial. That's right. Apparently, he had been here praying since the day before the rite even started. Talk about serious devotion. Yeah, I barely lasted a few minutes. This is a picture of Mr. Zealot's body. That dagger in his upper back looks like it would have been particularly painful. Is that a tattoo on the back of his neck? Yeah, it looks like a strawberry. It's a peach-shaped. Everybody started leaving when the praying was finally done, but the victim remained bent over in prayer, and when they went over to check on him, they discovered he was dead, right? Killed in the Plaza Dojo, he has a high peach-shaped tattoo on the nape of his neck. Yes, the estimated time of death is May 9, somewhere between the star at the right and the discovery of the High Priest's body. In other words, we believe the crime took place during the purification rite, and the murder weapon was the same ceremonial dagger that killed the High Priest. The prosecution believes Maya came down the stairs after killing the High Priest, and then stabbed Mr. Zealot with the same dagger. Circumstantial evidence does point to Maya, but what about the cause of death? He apparently died instantly from the dagger that was left thrust into his upper neck. Here's the autopsy report. Cause of death was spinal cord injury from being stabbed in the upper back by a bladed weapon. Estimated time of death, you say? How can you know such a thing? I want to know. Well, barbed head? Out with it. Oh, so the Princess of the Spirit Medium Kingdom is interested in forensic science. I have no interest in science, forensic or otherwise. Nevertheless, I will someday be queen. As such, it would be wise to know what silly things the common folk believe in. Disc. There's nothing silly about it. I'll have you know, even Prosecutor Sadmini holds forensics in high regard. Does he? Perhaps I should not underestimate the power of science. Still, I suppose it is nothing much compared to the divination seance. She really doesn't have an adorable bone in her body. Emma, I think she's actually interested. Would you mind explaining it to her? I guess I have to now. Okay, there are many ways to estimate the time of death, but the most well-known method uses the change in body temperature. Interesting. Yeah, so the body still stays warm after some time, after dying, but then eventually just falls completely cold. Body temperature drops at a steady rate from the moment a person dies. That means we can tell how long someone's been dead by measuring the temperature. I see. That was quite enlightening. Barbed head, present your forehead now. What? Why? You feel just a little over 95 degrees. It seems you are not dead yet. Of course I'm not. Hehe. It was but a jest. After all, you're still the dead lawyer walking. I fail to see the humor in any of this. Were there any witnesses? With so many people here at the plaza, you'd think somebody would have seen something. You'd think so, wouldn't you? But we haven't found a single witness. How's that even possible? Because everyone was bent over, utterly devoted to prayer, naturally. Oh right, the back shattering prop pose that nearly killed me. Still, you'd think that someone would have noticed something. I thought so too, but with the monk's scarf he had on, no one could see the dagger in his upper back. Plus, everyone was so absorbed in prayer they didn't see or hear anything. Can't believe this. What you chose to believe is your choice, but the fact remains there was no witnesses. However, there is one piece of irrefutable evidence. The dagger. She's gonna talk about the fingerprints. Sadly, yes. Could you tell me about the murder weapon? The killer used a warped dagger, the legendary weapon of Lady Kee'ra. It was discovered impaled in the victim's upper back. The accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger, were they not? Yes, they were. A dagger modeled after warped, said to have been used by Lady Kee'ra. With such irrefutable evidence, there is no questioning the accused's guilt. Not so fast. What about a motive? Maya had no reason to kill Acolyte Zealot. What do you, the police, think about this matter? Motive. You typically need a motive. Maya had no reason to kill Acolyte Zealot. So you say. But let us now hear what the police think about this matter. The police believe Maya is the Lady Kee'ra figure who has been battling the rebels. And since Mr. Zealot was the disciple of the High Priest who turned out to be a rebel, he too was likely a rebel, and therefore met the same ultimately demise as his teacher. Yes, that is how the police currently view this crime. There's no way Maya is that Lady Kee'ra vigilante. I agree on a personal level, but the police are just going with what today's trial concluded. I really blew it in court today. So these flowers were left here in memory of Acolyte Zealot. What are they called? They are known as Namanda, and they were given to express sorrow when a life is lost. It seems offering flowers in memory of the dead is a universal practice. The flower the Kuranis used to pay tribute to the departed expresses heartfelt sympathy. Acolyte Zealot died bent over in prayer. There's no trace of blood on the ground, though. The fact that there's no little bleeding could mean it was a single stab to a vital point. Not that would have been very difficult, considering the position he was in. Acolyte Zealot was killed in a prayer pose. With his head bent over like that, the last thing he saw must have been his rug. It is a prayer rug woven by devout monks. May the Holy Mother's blessing be upon his departed soul. It's strange that there are no bloodstains, though. Perhaps it was so cold his blood froze, or perhaps it was absorbed by his, vestment. It is pretty cold. Maybe the blood really did just freeze inside his body. About cold temperatures, is, cold temperatures can actually, what they can do is they can prevent a body from decomposing. So, is like, in extremely cold temperatures, is somebody could be dead for, like, weeks, but it could look like they died, you know, one day before. And the crazy thing is that in the Italian Alps, you had some of the highest altitude battles in history during World War I between the Italians and the Austro-Hungarian, Empire. And that campaign takes place in Battlefield 1 as well. And occasionally, when hikers have been going through the Italian Alps, like the top of them where it's like really cold and there's snow all year round, they were actually able to find the bodies of like Austrian and Italian soldiers that died over 100 years ago. They're still kind of decomposed, but they're not skeletons yet. So they can still see some of their skin, and that's because they've been up there for over 100 years since World War I, and they died up there and just died in such cold temperatures. It's taken so long for their body to basically decompose. So that still occasionally happens, as bodies are still occasionally found up there from just such a long time ago. Let's see here, anything? Okay, not the bazaar. Detention center? Maya's not here. Inner sanctum? No. You know you're in the right place when the game, like, freezes for a moment and you see, like, the green text pop up, it means you're going in the right direction. Hello, I'm so sorry to bother you again, but... She's the killer. I'm convinced she's the killer. She's the murderer. Oh, it's you. Barbed Head. You are not contemplating casting suspicion upon Lady Believe, are you? She lost her beloved husband, and now Acolyte Zealot, who was like a son to her. Of course I'm not. But since she was close to both victims, I wanted to hear what she has to say. Very well. And then there's the fact that Lady Kee'ra didn't attack Miss Inmi. That probably means she isn't a rebel. Is this about poor, Puhray? Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can talk about that right now. But what about Maya? She's innocent. Maya, I heard she was found guilty. First my dear husband, and now Puhray? Miss Inmi, you don't really believe that Maya's the killer, do you? I don't know. But that was the verdict, so what else can I believe? What am I to do? The verdict was already reached in your husband's case, but the truth of the matter is yet to be found. How can you be so sure? Because I believe that Maya is innocent. That is all I have right now. My faith in her. So please, help me understand what happened. So you're defending her based solely on faith. Even though you'll be punished for abetting the accused. That's right. All right then. Your faith has moved me. I will tell you what I can. Are you sure about this, Lady Believe? My lovely wife is also a devout follower of Kuranism. I'm seeing she has a magatama on her neck. I'm seeing that right there. As such, she is not one to make light of another's faith. But if I find that you have lied about your faith in Maya Fey's innocence, I shall curse your entire family and all your disciples for the next 8 generations. Ooh. Hey, leave Athena and Apollo alone, buddy. Okay, Puhray Zealot. How did Acolyte Zealot end up living here as your husband's disciple? About 2 years ago, while my husband was at a spiritual retreat in the mountains. He came across Puhray collapsed on the ground. That's when he brought him here. You were always one to help those in need, weren't you, dear? I think this is all an act. I think she's the killer. And he'd been living here ever since. About 2 years ago. That's around the same time Maya arrived in Karain. Yes, he was born in a poor village and had nowhere to call home. My husband felt pity for the boy, so he took him in as his disciple. But not only as his disciple, he was like a member of our family, too. I see. If this is where Acolyte Zealot lived, there might be something I could learn about him lying around here. Okay, to skip through this, I accidentally started it again. Okay, I have to investigate this place. This garbage again. Barbed Head, it appears you are quite fond of rummaging through the garbage. I just thought there might be some other important piece of evidence in here. Oh, is that right? Look, I'm not doing this for fun, really. Doesn't look like there's anything else of interest in there. This picture might be important. A photo of the High Priest, his wife, Acolyte Zealot, and Maya. Let me move just so you guys can just see it around here. This full picture. So this is a picture of them. And Maya's actually holding that that little figure. Something tells me that this is gonna become very important later on. This. One-of-a-kind strap plays a Plum Punisher theme when the Magatama on her belt is pressed. I have a feeling that that's gonna be very important. Because it's in this picture, too. It must have been taken the day before the rite. I should ask Miss Inmi about it. A picture of Maya and the High Priest family taken during the Feast of Blessings on the day before the rite. To think that this would be their final family photo. That no good Maya Fey has some nerve. I mean, here she is posing with the two men whom she would soon kill. I beg to differ. I see this photo as proof that she didn't kill them. That smile of hers does not fool me. I sense a deep and abiding malice behind it. I'll prove Maya's smile is the real deal. Can I ask you about this photo? It was taken during the Feast of Blessings, the day before the rite was held. The Feast of Blessings? Would you mind telling me a little more about it? The day before. This photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings. The Feast of Blessings. Yes, it is forbidden to eat during the days of the rite, so the day before it's performed, we enjoy dishes full of, gingahol, a herb known to strengthen the body and mind. An herb. You love the gingahol-based dishes I make, didn't you, dear? Gingahol. I heard you can go 3 days without sleeping after eating some. Yes, but many foreigners don't care for it because of its strong smell. Our customs say that these dishes can only be eaten the day before the purification rite. And only between noon and 3 p.m. That's pretty specific. Is it because the smell is too strong? A very good guess, indeed. It is to ensure the smell is gone by the time Lady Kee'ra is welcome the next day. Wow, is it really that strong? Come to think of it, the evening before the murder, an overwhelming odor was all over town. It was like a cross between garlic and mint. After the Feast of Blessings, Puhray went over the plaza to begin his supplication. I never thought that would be the last time I would see him. What was Maya doing at the time? Shortly after Puhray left, she went to the temple to prepare for the rite. I don't know what she did after that. A statement about the Feast of Blessings that was held during the day before the rite. So Acolyte Zealot went out to pray the afternoon before the rite. The family photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings, where it's customary to partake in dishes made Gangaho. These dishes are only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon on the day before the rite and must be finished by 3 p.m. the same day. According to the newspaper, on the day before the rite, the plaza was so cold the whole place had iced over. Puhray always prayed a lot, far more than anyone I have ever known. He was a devout young man whose faith was twice as strong as others. I don't know why, but that's kind of intimidating to me. I thought I'd have made some progress by now, but I haven't come across any particularly insightful information, even here. You seem disappointed. Miss Inmi, is there anything else you could tell me? Forgive me, but if I keep thinking about those two any longer... Barbed head! Yes, I understand. Thank you, for your help. I'm sorry to have troubled you. You have not found or heard anything of particular worth. Are you ready to give up? No, I'm not calling it quits yet. Okay, where am I gonna go now? I guess the detention center then? No. Oh, the flags are different, right? This prayer flag looks much newer than the rest. Your benevolence. What does it say here? The dearest wishes of our subjects are written upon these prayer flags. Reading the prayers of others is considered rude. But if you must know, it says, at the usual spot, bring grub, the key to. That is one of the more direct and practical prayers I've ever seen. I wonder if it's even a prayer. A brand new prayer flag found at the Plaza Devotion has some writing on it. That message on the prayer flag seems a little weird, but... At the usual spot, bring grub, the key to. Yeah, that's probably... The rebels were probably writing on that. Because, notice what she just said? She just said it's rude to read other people's prayers, so really religious people aren't going to read that. The rebels are probably using the flags to probably communicate, because the rebels don't care for the religion. I'm not sure it's related to this case. Oh, it definitely is. We have paid a visit to all of the people and places connected with this case. I think it is about time you prepared yourself for the inevitable, don't you? Does it look like you have any hope of winning, Mr. Wright? Emma, I can't really say at this point. All I know is I have to keep investigating. What are you two sneaks up to? I would advise you to get back to work if you are done here, Detective. Otherwise, I will report you to Prosecutor Sadmati for dereliction of duty. I'm going. Well, see you later, Mr. Wright. And good luck. Well, Barbed Head? Is it not time to give up? No. There is still someone I need to talk to first. Maya. Maya sure looks tired. I'm so sorry, Maya. I failed to defend you during that trial earlier today. I'm sorry too, Nick. I never meant to get caught up in this whole mess. Even worse, I got you caught up in it too. And you were convicted under that stupid law. Nick, you should really withdraw from this case. Maybe they'll even commute your sentence if you do. I could never abandon you like that. You might not believe me, but I'm going to pull off a win somehow. It's not like I don't believe in you. It just... Don't worry, maybe this extra day in court is a blessing from the Holy Mother. Let's use it to our advantage. We'll turn this trial inside out and upside down, you'll see. Oh, okay. You're awfully quiet, Your Benevolence. It is only a matter of time until your executions are carried out. I simply thought I would allow you to a good talk before you depart from this world. Sorry, but we're not giving up yet, and we won't till the bitter end. There is no need to put on a brave face. Your fates were sealed with today's verdict. Worry not of my fate. The Twilight Realm will cleanse the taint from that, neophyte, practitioner's soul. Then perhaps the Holy Mother may finally forgive her. Wait. Was that her attempt at comforting me? Barbed Head, further resistance shall come to naught. Stop your desperate struggle, accept the judgment that has been passed upon you. She obviously doesn't know me very well. Then perhaps your sentence will be commuted. And hold it right there, your benevolence. Why do you always have to be like that? Maya, what are you? What is that the matter? I was simply showing some mercy upon your souls. Nick here is risking his life to defend me. And that is why I told you it will come to... No, it won't. Nick is just doing what lawyers are supposed to do. He's defending his client no matter what. Enough! There's no place for lawyers in the Hall of Justice. For we have divination seance. But your insights were wrong. Yep, she's right. Oh boy, that's gotta hurt. Don't you get it? Errors are bound to happen if your insights are accepted without question. So I ask you, Royal Priestess, what is your true duty? Do the victims' souls or the Holy Mother herself wish you to judge people in error? Oh, you dare bring Her Holiness's name into this. You know nothing, you phony baloney. But please, you two, enough already. Sorry, Nick. I got a little carried away. It's not really like me, huh? Haha. No, I should be thanking you, Maya. It's good to have you in my corner. How dare you mock me so? You will not get away with this. I was a fool to show you compassion, and to think I could convince you to accept your fate. So struggle all you want in the Hall of Justice tomorrow. You will receive your just deserts, as the scorn of our kingdom is heaped upon you. I can see straight through that contorted smile on your face, you know. She may say these terrible things, but just the way she was raised, I guess. Zealot's murder. Could you try to remember what happened one more time? I've been trying as hard as I can, but I can't remember anything from the middle of the right onward. Oh, right. You suddenly felt sleepy, and everything after that's a blank. And remember, Pheonix passed out too, so I think something knocked them out. Even so, I didn't kill anyone. And I'm not the one going around dressed like Lady Kee'ra. Although it's kind of cool to think there is a mysterious female vigilante out there. Right. Were you close to Acolyte Zealot? We met several times during the meetings about the rite, but I didn't know him very well. He seemed pretty, quiet. Didn't you eat together the day before the rite? Yeah, we ate, this one super, stinky dish, but it was actually really good. I wasn't sure I'd like it, but it was love at first bite. Like, you know, the salty noodles at Eldoon's Noodles. It's like if you added garlic and herbs to that, and let it simmer for a really long time. Sounds more like a hot pot than ramen to me at that point. Now I miss ramen too. So what was Acolyte Zealot, like, while you were eating? He seemed to be enjoying the food, but as soon as we were done, he left to go pray. And what did you do? Oh, I returned to the temple to prepare for the rite. That coincides with Miss Inmi's description of events. Lady Kee'ra's identity. Any idea who might be pretending to be Lady Kee'ra? It's not the, it's not That's a Rebel. I think that it is, Believe in Me. I think that's who's Lady Kee'ra. When the rite started, it was just me and Abbot Inmi. But the seance vision showed a third figure who looked like Lady Kee'ra. I know. Lady Kee'ra. I wish I could have seen her in the flesh. Yeah. Let's stay focused on the case, shall we? It was supposed to have been impossible for a third party to enter the inner sanctum. But what if she came from the sky, you know, like that bushy, bearded paratrooper? That mountain would have been no match for Lady Kee'ra's wings. That's, from the Plume, Punisher TV show, right? How'd you know? Because the real Lady Kee'ra doesn't have wings. Oh, I've got it this time. There must be a secret room with a secret door at the inner sanctum. You know there are 88, secret Plume Punisher bases here in Khura'in? Can we please stop talking about the Plume Punisher show for a sec, Maya? I guess so. Keeping it real is much harder than it looks. Well, I should get going now. Sorry I wasn't any help. Don't worry, I've got this. We'll beat the charges tomorrow and be on the first plane back home before you know it. Then we'll go grab dinner at Eldune's or your favorite burger joint. You pick. Sounds good. I think I'll get the extra large hamburger steak topping on my salty bowl. Best of both worlds. You can have whatever you like. But first, I have to beat the charges. Ah, almost forgot. Well, what is it? I have a favor to ask. Okay, but why are we whispering? I forgot I left something at the High Priest's house. It's super important. Would you mind getting it and holding it onto it for me? Sure. So what's this super important thing? In my bag, you'll find a folding book. It's only given to the priestess who performs the rite. It's called the Tome of Secrets. That does sound important. How could you leave something like that just lying around? That explains all the whispering. If Rafa found out, all heck would break loose. Look, it's got Lady Kee'ra's real name written in it, so... Oops. Don't tell anyone I told you that. In fact, just forget I said anything at all. It's supposed to be a secret. The Tome of Secret contains... secrets, imagine that. What are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing. It's just she forgot something, so I told her I'd go get it. You were up to something. I just know it. Thanks, Nick. I'm counting on you. Okay, let's go back to the house. May 11th, High Priest's, house. Hello? Anybody home? No answer. Miss Indy's probably out right now. Well, I'll just get what I came for. I'm watching you like a warped barbed head. You better not steal anything. I would never do something like that. I'm just here to get what Maya asked for. Then get on with it. I would if you'd stop interrupting me. It's in the bag. Ah, here's Maya's bag. What is that strange patch on her bag? It's the Steel Samurai. He's the hero of an action hero show back in my country. It's actually Maya's favorite show. That's the Steel Samurai theme. She's got all sorts of merchandise related to it. I see. He looks strikingly similar to the Plume Punisher. They are similar, but the Steel Samurai definitely came first. I see. How interesting. Rafa seems genuinely intrigued. There must be a common thread between Plum Punisher and Steel Samurai fams. Come to think of it. Didn't Maya mention something about trading with a Plume Punisher fan? But I digress. I better find out what she asked me to look for and get going. Let's see here. This must be that Tome of Secrets that Maya was talking about. A tome given only to the one who will play the role Lady Kee'ra on the Purification Rite. Well, Barbed Head, are you finished now? Can I even look at this? The priestess acting as Lady Kee'ra's representative must know her name. That name is Ixman-san. Speaking this name is unforgivable. Lock this knowledge deep in your hearts and devote yourself to prayer. That is Lady Kee'ra's real name. Is Ixman. Hold on a second. The string around it is coming undone. Whoops. Oh. Ah! You fool! Do not lay eyes upon it. Put it away quickly, before we go blind. Relax, my hand just slipped. This is the Tome of Secrets. Are you trying to get us cursed? Lady Kee'ra is liable to swoop down and gouge out our eyes out. Oh, right. This book is related to Lady Kee'ra, isn't it? Your benevolence, would you mind if I asked you some questions? Tome of Secrets. This is not something I would normally speak about to an outsider such as you. Well, can't you make an exception? If you insist. Nana! Whoa. Okay, that was quick. What of this folding book? Yes. I see. She doesn't even know about it. This very important tome is bestowed upon the priestesses in the Purification Rite. Very important. What's written inside? Yes. Yes, I see. Really? Is it alright to reveal that? Your benevolence. Patience. The book contains Lady Kee'ra's true name. Her true name. Is Is a name really that important of a secret? To a Kurani priestess, a person's name is one of the most important things to know. Lady Kee'ra's real name. What's so important about a name? Without a name, a priestess's voice will fail to reach a person's minima. It is much like trying to send a letter without the recipient's address. A spirit can only be identified once you know the deceased's face and name. Oh, I get it. It's like when you see someone in a crowd you recognize, but you don't know their name. It makes it impossible to get their attention. Indeed, you must know a spirit's face and true name before you can commune with it. It is the same for Kuranism's most secret art, one that my mother alone may use. The Queen has a secret art. It is something a foreigner such as you could never hope to guess. In Kuranism, spirit channeling is a secret art that can only be performed by the Queen. No one else is supposed to be able to do it. I should pretend this is all new to me. Besides, I get the feeling she secretly really wants to tell me all about it. The Queen's secret art. Could you tell me about the secret art of the Queen you spoke of? Come again? Oh, sorry. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. It is a secret after all, right? It is the secret art of spirit channeling. But I suppose those words are meaningless to you. I'm just surprised how willing you are to tell me about it. A third-rate lawyer cannot channel spirits simply by learning of the technique. Third-rate is a bit harsh. I'd even settle for second. What is it? You have the look of a tentacled hag frog upon your face. What the heck is a tentacled hag frog? Spirit channeling. That's where a medium lets a spirit possess her body to return to our world, right? Well now, I see you have done your homework. Oh, I guess I studied a bit. With the power of spirit channeling, one can bring back even the most ancient of spirits. It is quite a magnificent power, is it not? I've never seen her eyes light up like this before. I imagine they're pretty shocked when they come back from ancient times. Indeed. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death, so even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time. Between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled. Yes. And yet it is clearly recalls all the memories it had in its life. Thus, even heroes and scholars of antiquity can be channeled and directly learned from. Our queens have also used this power to help the rulers of neighboring lands seek counsel. That is why we have never been invaded, and how we have maintained our unique culture. So spirit channeling is a really effective tool for international politics. It is indeed. And that is why only those with the power to channel spirits may rule our kingdom. But of late, there has been an endless influx of illegal immigrants from neighboring lands. The fools come seeking the same great power as my mother. Illegal immigrants. Yes, it is becoming quite a problem. Some have lost their way in life and look to Kuranism for their salvation. Among them are also those of dubious nature who have been driven from their own lands. Dubious nature. Driven from their own land. Gasp and Pain definitely fit that bill. But they sure weren't treating him like an illegal alien. Also, for people confused by the term illegal alien, that basically means illegal immigrant. That is the term that a lot of governments use. The United States federal law actually uses that term illegal alien. So when you hear the term illegal alien, just know it means illegal immigrant. Wraitha's spiritual power. Can you channel spirits, your benevolence? I am, but the royal priestesses, there is still much that I must learn. As of now, the divination seance takes me to the very limit of my ability. So her spiritual power doesn't measure up to Maya's. You were just mocking me in your mind, weren't you? No, don't be ridiculous. It is written all over your face, you impudent nincompoop. The divination seance was once one of the important roles fulfilled by the queen. That is why my mother taught me when I was little. So the queen can perform the dance of devotion. That'd be a sight to see. Someday I will be a powerful priestess and queen, just like my mother. And the divination seance is a vital part of my training to prepare me for that day. Forgive my ignorance, your benevolence. You shall see. It will not be long before I, too, master the secret art of spirit channeling. I will be a magnificent queen, who unites her people for the greater good of Khura'in. Now I see. Spirit channeling is something that she really aspires to. I'm going to ace that test and become the next master. After all, I can't let my clan and the other villagers down. It looks like she actually has something in common with Maya. Are you quite through now? There are more important things to do than to stand here and talk about spirit channeling. That's true. It doesn't have anything to do with this case, as far as I can tell. Or does it? If the queen is a spirit medium, are you about to suggest my mother was channeling Lady Kee'ra? Heck, I guess she saw that one coming. Lawyers are indeed a witless breed. On the day of the rite, my mother was engaged in other duties, as the palace, of course. My mother is a very busy woman, and the idea itself is preposterous. Do you truly believe that the Queen of Kharain would personally battle the insurgents? This is precisely what makes you third rate. Erg. Another dead end. This is bad. Anyway, I need to continue looking for leads, so... Over there, after him. Don't let him escape. What is all that racket? What? That escaped prisoner has a surface here in town? Escaped prisoner? Oh yeah, him. That's a rebel. You mean that guy with the bushy beard? There is no reason to panic. The police are on his trail. He's no longer a suspect, but he might know something considering he was at the scene of the crime. Let's go take a look. Wait. Huff, huff. Ow, my aching back. I forgot how badly I injured it. Ow, 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 ow. I need to do some stretching and exercise more when I get back home. Mr. Wright. Huff, puff. Hey, Albie. That's Arabal. Have you seen him? Ow, ow, ow. Are you alright, sir? 1 second, Huff, puff. Have you seen that escaped prisoner around here? Oh, so that's why all those police came rushing over here. I heard them saying something about an escaped prisoner disappearing in this area. He disappeared in this area. He couldn't have taken to the air again, could he? Barbed head. Huff, huff. I told you to wait. It's too dangerous for you around here, your benevolence. Mr. Arabal could be lurking nearby. What sort of princess would I be? If all I took was an escaped prisoner to frighten me. If all it took was an escaped prisoner to frighten me. She's fearless, I'll give her that. I can't be responsible if something happens to you. As long as I'm here, though, I might as well search the area myself. If I were an escaped prisoner, where would I hide? There? Hey, Albie, what's this cow-like animal? It's a yak. They carry heavy loads and provide milk. They're indispensable partners in our daily lives. Interesting. Hey, there's kind of a, they're kind of cute up close. Ah, and they are also prized for their meat. You know, the meat you enjoyed so much last night. Oh, partner, must mean something else here. He's not hiding in that? I would think he would be hiding in that. Look at all these vegetables. Let's see, there's Gaia, Pam, Konuro, and Zabas. And they're all freshly picked this morning. I've never heard of any of them. Maybe I'll buy some to see what they taste like. You want some too, Albie? My treat. Really, thank you, sir. I'll take some of this, and this. Oh, and this too. Albie, that's quite a lot you've got there already, don't you think? But this is barely enough for a side dish. I hope I brought enough money. The gate to Temple. And at the top of those stairs is my home away from home. Just looking at them is making my back ache. This is a really popular bun shop here in Kharain. Oh, they even sell Damn man? Let's see. I'm 1 mag at that man, 15 damas. Wait a second. Albie, weren't you selling them for 20 damas apiece? The extra 5 damas is a service fee. He's quite the, shrewd businessman. Allow me to explain. This bird is known as a warped. It's only found here in Karain. Alright, the bird lady kee'ra based herself on. It's a really beautiful bird. Tourists must love it. They usually do. There's just one thing about it that's kind of hit or miss. Its unusual cry drives children to tears. It can even make some adults collapse in fear. Maybe they should keep such a fearsome creature in a less crowded area. Can't read the sign. This looks like a souvenir shop. It's too bad I don't have time to do some shopping right now. But I'll have to stop by here before I go back home. I'm sure everyone's expecting something, especially Trucy. It's a poster. It looks like some kind of Karainese superhero. Why do all the superheroes look the same, regardless of where they come from? Look for the escaped prisoner. Where could he be? That manhole cover. It's open. Oh, I didn't even see that. Whoa. What is this, Shadu? Did he sniff out someone or something in the manhole? I wonder. Could Shadu track Mr. Arbol if he had something with the rebel's scent on it? I don't know. I feel like I've got something with Mr. Arbol's scent on it. Something he might have touched. What did he touch? Here, Shadu. How about this? I hope it works. I think he's picked up a scent. You mind if I borrow Shadu for a bit? By all means. I had no idea you could do this. Yeah, go get him, boy. Your benevolence. I'm heading down the manhole now. It could be dangerous, so please wait here. Wait! Don't worry, I won't commit any of those misdeeds you're so worried about. That is not what I fear. There may be a vicious insurgent lurking down there. Oh, are you worried about me? No. I was simply wondering why you would go to such lengths in your investigation. After all, if you would simply withdraw from this case, they might commute your sentence. I'm doing this to prove Maya innocent. But how can you be so sure of the accused's innocence? She has already been found guilty. Don't worry, maybe this extra day in court is a blessing from the Holy Mother. Let's use it to our advantage. We'll turn this trial inside out and upside down, you'll see. Oh, okay. I believe in her. If she says she's innocent, then that means she's innocent. Lawyers must trust in their clients to the bitter end. That's just what we do. You lame brain. Do you, do what you will. Well, I'm going in. Let's go, Shadu. Okay, so this guy's a paratrooper too, and he's in the sewers. So this, and here's the thing is, paratroopers are elite soldiers. Paratroopers are trained much more than just regular infantry soldiers. Paratroopers are, you could make the argument that paratroopers are even special forces. So this guy is a paratrooper, and all over the world, wherever you have paratroopers, paratroopers are typically the more elite units of a military. And so this guy's a paratrooper, and he's in that sewer, and we're going after him. So yeah, this is gonna be bad. Wait, come back here. It's a pitch black down here. I can't see a thing. What? Ah! Oh. Ow, 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 ow. What the? What happened? I went down into the manhole and then... Oh, you finally came to. Oh, so it's the Insurgent. Ah! I don't remember that face anywhere. That dragon symbol on his armband. That's the mark of the rebels. There can be no mistake. It's him. That's horrible. Yikes. Sorry, got a little rough with you back there. No, you were, the cops. Thought you were the cops. Why are you making that face? Hey, want an apple? Ooh. Thought he was gonna kill me. I'll pass on the apple, but thanks. I don't mind a good apple, but not right now. What is this place? This is the office of my brother-in-arms, Dirk. But right now, we're using it as a rebel safe house. Wait, back up a second. What kind of office is this exactly? A law office, what else? Really, Dirk used to be a lawyer. Yep, just like you. Curtis's public enemy #1 is ex-lawyer. Didn't see that coming, so that's why they hate lawyers so much. But I don't suppose I'll be coming around here anymore. You won't. Are you planning to flee or something? I want to get out of the rebel business. Tired of being hounded by the cops and all that. So I came by today to pick up the last of my stuff. Really? I'm gonna sell Dirk's info to the Minister of Justice, then slip out of Khura'in. Wait a second. You're a key person of interest in this case. You can't go running off like that. Relax, will ya? I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Oh, and sorry about punching your lights out back there. My bad. So, Mr. Lawyer Man, what do you want to know? Tell me about the murders of the High Priest Harris in me, and his acolyte Puhray Zealot. Sure, I'll tell you whatever I can. Don't know if it'll be much help, though. I mean, I'm not a rebel anymore, so... I wonder how true that really is. The High Priest's murder. Tell me everything, you know about the High Priest's murder. Well, as you know, I don't remember much about that. I banged my head on a rock as soon as I parachuted into the inner sanctum. So when I told you I had nothing to do with his murder, I meant it. Okay, then. Where were you, when you came to, after banging your head? By the time I came to it, it was already dawn. I must have been out cold the whole time. So he didn't see the crime happen at all. And he had to have been very well dressed, because if he passed out on that mountain, he could have died from cold. He could have died from hypothermia. So you didn't see the crime happen at all. You got that right. Then why did you say, you did when you testified? Oh, about that. Since I didn't remember a thing, I was afraid I'd seem suspicious, so I came up with that whole story. Does he even realize how much trouble his big fat lies caused me? Sorry for that trouble. It was definitely my bad. He doesn't seem very sorry to me. So the bottom line is you were at the scene of the crime, but weren't involved in it. Got it. Dirk the attorney. So Dirk used to be a lawyer. Yep, he was a force to be reckoned with back when he was still practicing. He was a juggernaut of the law, and as mighty as a dragon. He could strike terror into the prosecutor's heart just by glaring at him. People call it his dragon's glare. He even got criminals to confess and pass out with a well-placed glare. You've got to be kidding me. But most important of all, he would never surrender. He'd fight for the accused no matter how the odds were stacked against him. Is that what you mean by the will of the dragon? So, Dirk the rebel leader doesn't actually seem like that bad of a guy. Yep, that would be it, actually. Your work in court yesterday was mighty impressive, too. You didn't give up, no matter how hard of a beating you took. Not unlike Dirk, I might add. Oh, thanks. Even if a big part of the beating I took was because of you. What's this book? Is this a law book? A dragon's mark been branded into the cover. That's Dirk's law book. Really? The leader of the rebels? That Dirk. That's right, and that mark of the dragon is the emblem of the rebellion. The pages in this one section are really dirty. Must be the section of the Defense Culpability Act. Dirk's law book. Branding it with a defiant dragon's mark demonstrates the strength of Dirk's convictions. He must have done a ton of research on the Defense Culpability Act. He practically wore out the entire section. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. That's the Queen. There's a knife drawn deep into the photo of the Queen. I guess the rebels really hate her. Better remember to stay on their good side. What's this? Incense and white flowers. Wait, the flowers are still fresh. They must have been put here maybe today or yesterday. Wait, these flowers. Did you put these here, Mr. Arabal? Something wrong with flowers? Oh no. It's just a traditional thing here in Khura'in. Pay it no mind. These are the same flower types. What's this stuff here? This looks like a photo of Dirk and his compatriots. And here's one that looks really old. Wow, this was taken about 20 years ago. That looks like Apollo and Sad Midi, the prosecutor and Apollo. Is that how they know each other? They both know Dirk? Yeah, it looks just like Apollo and Sad Midi. Those are Dirk's sons. What? Really? So this is the rebel Dirk's, in the center. He doesn't look so evil. And both of his sons look kind of familiar. The one on the left is Yuri. Oh, but you know him as Prosecutor Sad Matty. Prosecutor Sad Matty is Dirk's son. That he is. Yuri was once a rebel too. He used to really respect his old man. Both as a father and as a lawyer. Then why did he become a prosecutor? Being a lawyer in this kingdom is the same as signing your own death warrant. On account of the Defense Culpability Act, right? Yeah, that's why Yuri decided to be a prosecutor instead. He wanted to spark a revolution from the inside, so he dove right into the enemy's den. Let me see here, history. So he's a fake prosecutor? I would have never guessed it, looking at him now. You can say that again. Dirk is battling to change Khura'in's legal system. The will of the dragon spurs him on. We all thought Yuri was taking up the mantle to carry on that will too. We were sure he'd help overthrow Garen one day, but as you've seen, he now uses the law to do her bidding. Dirk's been beside himself, so he no longer carries the will of the dragon in him, huh? I wonder what happened between father and son for it to come to this. What about the other child in this photo? That's Dirk's adopted son, but he's gone back overseas. His name's Apollo. Apollo? Wait a second. That bracelet. It really is Apollo. He was a rascal, that one, and his voice could shake the entire room. I imagine he's out there raising high hell somewhere. Ha ha ha. Yes, I'm sure he's doing just fine. Considering how far he's come, Mr. Arbal's description really doesn't do Apollo justice. Apollo, I've been watching you grow over these past 2 years. That's why I know you're ready. Well, I know I can leave Trucy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. Thank you. I'll be fine. Everything will be fine. He's a responsible young man now. He never lost that loud voice, though. What's this tunnel here? There's a ladder leading to underground. He must have brought me in through here. But there's no reason for me to leave yet. I should see what else Mr. Arbal has to say. There are bowls and platters of food here. They're still warm, as if it was all recently prepared. You must have a pretty big appetite, Mr. Arbal. Har har har. Guys as big and strong as me. Got even bigger appetites, you know. But you just fled from the police. I don't know how you could eat this much after all that excitement. Sorry if I offended you. But first, let's start with the appetizer. Where is he getting all those apples from? Wanna join me, Mr. Lawyer Man? Got plenty of sewer lizards, too. Thanks, but I already ate. Well, I gotta start packing. Who knows when they might catch up with me if I don't scram soon. Please wait. I still need to ask you something. Go ahead, shoot. What are you rebels trying to do? And why were you at the Inner Sanctum in the first place? Mr. Arbel's plan. Why were you at the Inner Sanctum on the day of the murder? Or more precisely, what were you trying to do there? I was trying to escape from prison, that's all. But that High Priest was a fool for getting taken in by Dirk. He should have tried hightailing it at a Karain like I'm doing. Oh, great. Cyclox. He's lying about something. It's a big lie, too. Ah, Cyclox. Mr. Arbel is hiding something, but I won't know exactly what until I can undo the locks. What exactly are you trying to hide, Mr. Arbel? Huh? I'm not hiding anything. No way, no how. I'll just have to use my Magatamas on him then. Let's see, what is he hiding exactly? Because whenever that appears, it means somebody is hiding something. The more locks, the bigger the lie is. So when there's a lot of locks, the lie is really big. That's his plan. What is he hiding? I'm going to ask you again. Why were you at the Inner Sanctum on the day of the murder? Or more precisely, what were you trying to do there? You can keep asking, but the answer's still the same. I was trying to escape from prison, that's all. But that High Priest is a fool. He fell for Dirk's line and sold his own country out. How can you say such things about him? He helped you escape, didn't he? Don't you even care about what happened to him? Nope. I was getting at the rebellion anyway. He should have opened his eyes. We never stood a chance against the Garan regime. Hang on. Do you really believe what you're saying? Didn't the High Priest's death really hurt you on the inside? Like I just said, I couldn't care less about the whole thing. I beg to differ. This would be here in this room if you didn't feel a thing. This wouldn't be here in the room. Let's see here. The flowers, yeah. The same flowers that are expressing sorrow are in the room. Yeah, he's expressing sorrow for the priest dying.
Take that!
I heard these flowers are offered in memory of the dead here in Karain. The High Priest's death hit you hard, so now you've been grieving here alone, haven't you? Well? He who? That's one lie broken. Those flowers don't mean anything. It's just a Karain's way of saying goodbye. Why hide the fact that you're mourning his death? You're reading into this too much, I told you. I'm done with the rebellion. I haven't even heard from Dirk or the rest of them for a few days. And tomorrow I'm planning to kiss this kingdom goodbye. No. I know you've been in contact with the other rebels lately. And how exactly do you plan on proving that? This piece of evidence ties you to the other rebels. The brand, this flag. The flag, too. He wrote on it, too.
Take that!
I found this prayer flag at the Plaza Devotion. You wrote a message on it and left it behind for your fellow rebels, didn't you? They brought this food for you at your request. Hoo-ha-ha! So you're lying about leaving the rebels. You're still involved with Dirk and the rest of them, aren't you? Are you ready to tell me the truth now? Oh, you're good, Mr. Lawyer Man. I admit it. I requested the grub. But I was just taking advantage of them, that's all. What do you mean? With my face plastered all over the place, I couldn't stay out in the open anymore. So I just took advantage of my former comrades for some grub and a place to hide. I was gonna kiss this kingdom goodbye tomorrow. I'm not buying it. You're obviously lying. I can tell just by looking at you. The white-hot flames of revolution definitely still burn on inside of you. What? That's ridiculous. Those flames burned out a long time ago. This proves that the flames of revolution still burn on inside of you. Dirk's law book? Say that, yeah.
Take that!
Dirk's law book? I'm no lawyer, so what's that got to do with me? Look at the mark branded on the cover. This mark that stands for an unwavering commitment to the revolution. It's Dirk's way representing the will of the dragon. Yeah, so what of it? You have that same mark on the scarf tied around your left arm. But you wouldn't be wearing that if you were no longer a rebel. I forgot to take it off, that's all. No, as a wanted man, that should have been the first thing you took off. The fact that you haven't hidden that mark yet proves you're still a rebel. Hoo-ah! Okay, one more lie. Think what you want, but you know nothing about me. No, you're wrong. You wear your heart and your beliefs right on your sleeve, just like me. And this is what I believe in. Proof of my profession? My attorney's badge. When a person's back is against a wall, they always fall back on what they believe in. This is I always have my badge. You always have the will of the dragon with you. And would you risk your life for your beliefs? No, I wouldn't. No, because I wouldn't be much use to my client's dead. Now admit it. You've never once thought about leaving the Defiant Dragons, have you? That look in your eyes, it's just like Dirk's. Looks like you've got the will of the dragon inside of you, too. We got that all right on my first try. Yeah, nice. We broke that Cyclock really quickly. Mr. Arabol's plan. I'd plan to take you out if you turned, to be on the side of the Royals. So yeah, so it was just a ruse. That's what it was. But I think I can trust you. I can't believe I was that close to getting shanked in here. Shanked means stabbed. It's like you said. I have no intention of leaving Dirk's group. In other words, you were testing me. You're a foreigner, and a lawyer who's been charged with abetting a criminal to boot. And I've seen a fair share of lawyers, get pardoned. After weeping at the feet of the Queen. Well, I'm going to keep fighting, till the end. Yeah, I can see that now. Sorry I ever doubted you. So what are you doing here anyway? I came to get the secret hideout key from a helper. Secret hideout? Yep, I was supposed to get, my next order from Dirk there. But the town's swarming with cops thanks to that murder. Nothing I can do about that. What about the order Dirk was supposed to give you? Gonna have to abort that mission. Now I'm just laying low, waiting for a chance to make contact with Dirk again. Hey, why the long face? I thought you'd be able to tell me something about the High Priest's murder. Sorry to disappoint you. Oh, I know. Let me make it up to you with, this. What is it? This orb is actually a key. It opens the door to one of our secret hideouts. I can't, say more than that. Anyway, I hope it helps. This orb is a key? Yep, plus the hideout's in a totally unexpected location. And being that it's super secret, we couldn't have just any ordinary key. I see. An orb entrusted to me by Mr. Arbol seems to be the key to the rebel hideout. Maybe this will help me unravel the truth behind this case. Thanks. Don't mention it. Besides, you're a fellow brother in arms fighting the powers that be. If it'll help you, feel free to pick my brain a bit more. Lady Kee'ra. Everyone's been talking about the return of Lady Kee'ra lately. Well, my friend Maya suspected of being the rebel hunter disguised Lady Kee'ra. You wouldn't happen to know who she really is, though, would you? Beats me, but whoever she is, she bushwhacked me and hauled me off to jail. Even worse, on top of attacking us and delivering us to the cops. So yeah, he was that guy at the start. The guy in the start in that first anime cutscenes we saw in the alley. That was him at the start. She's been watching us like a hawk and framing us for different crimes. Framing us. Watching you like a hawk, framing you for crimes. Why would anyone go to all that trouble? Our kingdom likes to pretend that its people are free to think what they want. Because of that, the authorities can't arrest you just for sympathizing with the rebellion. So they resort to framing people for things they didn't do. Then that Lady Kee'ra figure is... Yep, she's just some spittle working for the Garen regime. Wow. Heh, even without the DC Act, Dirk and his Insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Let's just say, I got a little trick up my sleeve. So I'd watch it if I were you. Cause you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. So he was talking to Lady Kee'ra then. Advanced combat skills, detailed surveillance, and clever setups. She's no amateur if you ask me. So you're saying the monarchy is using Lady Kee'ra to secretly take out the rebels? Exactly. The Garen regime is using her to control the people, even down to what we think. Now here's the thing is, about these rebels, we've been told that these rebels are like, you know, bad people. But it doesn't seem like they are actually bad people. It seems like they just want change. They dress up in the military gear. They hate the regime, but doesn't mean that they're necessarily like, you know, bad people. So they might just want actual change in the country. And Khura'in is pretty much a dictatorship. It is. Even if people have, you know, just because a country has free speech doesn't mean that it's not a dictatorship. A dictatorship is basically when there's like one sole authority in the country and they pretty much control everything. So even if the dictator gives you free speech, it's still a dictatorship. That's pretty much it. Why don't the people protest that the monarchy is doing things like that? Unfortunately, we don't have any conclusive evidence. And without that, we can't prove anything. Ah, I know the feeling. So that's why they want to prove Maya guilty so bad. Because it's an attempt to cover up this Lady Kee'ra vigilante that they're basically using. If I bring this up in court, they'd probably dismiss it out of hand. I'll have to unmask Lady Kee'ra if I want to get anywhere. Goal of the revolution. Our goal, to get rid of that evil, no-good Defense Culpability Act. I can tell this by looking at Dirk's law book. The DC Act has turned his kingdom into a corrupt cesspool, where false charges are overlooked and prosecutors only once heard in court. It's been 23 years since it was first enacted. What happened 23 years ago to make them pass such a terrible law? The assassination of Queen Amara. That's where it all began. It happened before I was even born, but Queen Amara, the previous queen, was assassinated. And it was the rebel leader, Dirk, who did it. Dirk assassinated the former queen, didn't he? That's the official line, but... The official line? Those charges were completely trumped up. Dirk was framed, I'm telling you. He was. Plus, Dirk was a lawyer. Once the people thought a lawyer had killed the queen, they turned against all lawyers. And that's how the DC Act was first passed. So that's why there aren't any lawyers left in Korea. Even worse, it changed the significance of the divination seance. The significance of the divination seance. They were holding seances in court even before the DC Act. You bet they were. Lawyers and prosecutors used to hotly contest the insights that came out of seances. You mean like what I've been doing? Right. It's like Dirk used to say. The royal priest's insights are just another piece of evidence. Right. I see what you mean about the significance of the divination seance changing. Yep, the insights became the only truth, and arguing against them was banned. As royal priestesses, it is my duty to reveal the truth through the divination seance. This time, I will prove that the insights I glean thereof are the very truth itself. Prepare yourself, for this shall be your last trial, and your last rites. Tomorrow shall end with you under the headsman axe. From what I've heard and seen, Rafa would agree with that. This kingdom's a shadow of its former self. It's become a dictatorship where the royals use the fear of trumped-up charges to rule. And that's what Dirk's been rebelling against. Yup, all we want is to live in a kingdom with a fair and impartial legal system. And there's only one way to make that come true. Overthrow the current regime. So that's the truth behind the rebels. Well, Hugh, my friend, it's about time for me to get going. After all, I am the Fangs of the Defiant Dragons. That's Arabal. You're not going to do that alley-oop thing again, are you? I was just getting to that. See you when I see you. Alley-oop. Why does he have to jump like that before running off? Well, I guess we're friends now. But enough about that. I've already spent way too much time here. May 11. Karain. Bazaar. Ooh, finally got out of there. Mr. Wright, I'm so glad you're okay. I was so worried about you. Shadu, what happened to him anyway? He came out of the manhole about 5 minutes after you went in. Sorry he wasn't much help. Well, did you find anything of worth? Oh, I tripped and fell down there. I must have been out cold for a while. I better keep things to myself for now. I figured as much. I have to find that secret hideout Mr. Arabal was talking about. I should probably start with the places that have something to do with the High Priest. Find the secret rebel hideout. An orb. An orb is the, It's possible that... Could this be at the temple? This is gonna be a challenge now, finding the rebel hideout. May 11, Inner Sanctum. Barbed Head. You already, searched here, did you not? Oh, I just thought I'd look around again. You know, in case I missed something. I probably shouldn't, tell her I'm looking for the secret rebel hideout. We have a saying back home, leave no stone unturned. Oh, yes. You cannot stump me. I know that one. Actually, I don't have a clue, it's written all over your face. I wonder. Hey, this eye is missing. What are you doing? You must not touch that for no reason. Sorry. But that shape, I wonder.
Take that!
I knew it. The hideout is underneath the inner sanctum. What? She must be at a loss for words, and that doesn't happen too often. What is this place? Explain yourself at once, Barbed Head. I don't think she's ready for the full story. I don't really know much myself, but it seems to be a secret rebel hideout. If I'm shocked there's a secret door here, I imagine that goes double for Rafa. A rebel hideout in the inner sanctum? Somebody will pay for this. Well, for now, I think I'll have a look around. Wait, you must not enter before the police. Don't worry, I won't disturb anything, or at least I'll try not to. Besides, with you watching over me, it should be fine, right? And, you see? Fine. Just please stop pleading your case here. I can only stand so much lawyerly drivel, but I will be presenting all information gleaned, from your efforts here to police. Of course. Now, shall we? I will go no further. Oh, right. You're not supposed to come in contact with the taint of Lady Kee'ra's battles. Very good, Barbed Head. I commend, you for remembering. Oh, well, thank you. Wait, why am I thanking her? I may not be able to enter, but I will allow no misdeeds on your part. I will be watching you like a warb from this entrance here. Told you I'm not gonna do anything. I better hurry before she changes her mind. Rebel hideout. Very smart to have it in the inner sanctum. May 11th, secret hideout. I believe this to be a sacred place that enshrines the source of the spring water. That makes sense. The rebels must have converted it into a secret hideout. But what about the warped revolving door? Is that how Lady Kee'ra got behind him? Is that how Lady Kee'ra got behind the High Priest? She came through the statue. The statue was opening, and the priest heard the statue opening. And then he saw Lady Kee'ra there, so she came from the hideout. To think these filthy rebels were scheming to their schemes in the most sacred place. And that's how Lady Kee'ra got out without anybody seeing her. She threw the robe away, and then went in the hideout, and then waited until the police left. And then from that, she basically left the scene afterwards. To think those filthy rebels were scheming their schemes in the most sacred place. It's a desecration of Currentaism itself. The Defiant Dragons shall pay for this. I suppose it's only natural that she'd be upset, but the investigation must go on. I think I'll start by taking a picture of this place. Good thing I brought a camera to snap some souvenir shots. Stop that. You must not take photos here without permission. Rafa's really fired up. She's sticking her head in as far as it'll go. I guess she won't be tainted as long as she, doesn't touch anything. A photo of the secret rebel hideout was literally built in the inner sanctum. Now, to search every nook and cranny. Barbed Head, just because it's hard for me to see your every move, do not use that as an excuse to touch and break things. I heard you the first time. Sheesh. These guns? Weapons, and lots of them too. We are lucky we found them before they, could be used. Excellent work, Barbed Head. Oh, thanks. If the rebellion ever happens, I hope it's bloodless. How dare those filthy insurgents raise their banner amid such a sacred place? Barbed Head, you must burn it at once. Didn't you tell me not to touch or damage anything? This is an exception. Very well. If you will not do it, then I will. But your benevolence, I thought you're not supposed to come in here. Urgh. For once, the strange customs of this kingdom are working in my favor. There's something under the banner. A microphone? What's this doing here? Was someone trying to record something with it? So this is the water source that supplies the Inner Sanctum Spring. It flows through the channel built into the floor beneath before heading outside. Lady Kee'ra uses sacred water to wash the taint of battle from her body. It's also not red like the water in the spring. A large stone slab. It's shaped like a magatama. It looks rather unstable. I bet it'd tip over in an earthquake. What's that earthly grass-like smell? It's the smell of the moss that covers the stone. Oh, so this shaggy green stuff is moss. It looks like some of the moss about halfway up has been disturbed. I wonder why that is. One quick touch can't hurt, right? Whoa, the slab's starting to wobble. And you see, there's handprints on it. Somebody's been touching it. What is happening? What have you done in a sacred space? Nothing. All I did was nudge it a little. I knew it looked unstable. Probably best not to touch it again. What's this a map of? Looks like an order from Dirk. What's this? Let me see that. I thought you're not supposed to touch anything in here. This is an exception. Now hand it over. Let's see here. Oh, Holy Mother. What? What does it say? It is an order intended for that rebel named Justce. It reads, after the rite, infiltrate the palace under the guise of returning Lady Kee'ra's costume, and search for clues about that incident from 23 years ago. Dirk. 23 years ago. He must mean the assassination of Queen Amara. I wonder what the rebels are up to. It's intriguing and all, but it doesn't seem related to the case at hand. This will not do. I must warn my mother at once. No need to do that. This order will never be carried out. Lady Kee'ra's costume is still here, and Abbot Inmi is no longer able to aid the rebels. I knew that. Look! What is it, Barbed Head? It's a Plum Punisher clock. Why, I believe it's a limited edition promotional item given to 50 lucky viewers. This rare item plays the Plum Punisher theme song every hour. Hand it over now, Barbed Head. Ah, she snatched it away from me. No matter what she says, Rafa is definitely a huge fan. What's a fine item? What a fine item. And this switch, if I'm right... It's the Plum Punisher theme song. Yes, now I see. The insurgents who use this room must be Plum Punisher fans. That may be so, but I don't see how it's relevant to this case. There's a Plum Punisher calendar here. Ah, now I understand. The villains in the Plum Punisher are based on the insurgents. Watching this show must have roused their ire against Lady Kee'ra. I doubt that's it. What's this? The statue door rotates when you pull this chain. I see. Then you must shut the door and destroy its mechanism. That will deprive the insurgents of access to this place. But wouldn't that trap me in here? Not to worry, I would come to visit you once a year. She's actually serious. I'll come to visit you once a year. Is this blood? What's this? A blood stain. I should probably try to figure out what happened in here. Do not tamper with any evidence before the police arrive. The police? Hey, that reminds me. Emma gave me something just for times like this. I thought it might help your investigation. Here, it's all yours. I wanted to bring you a bunch of other forensic tools, but they were confiscated at the airport. Luminol testing fluid. This actually might come in handy. Luminol testing fluid glows in reaction to even the tiniest traces of blood, so it can even detect areas where blood has been wiped up. Yup. It might help us figure out what happened in here. Okay, and there's a hand in there. You see the hands in there? Wait a second. Did the High Priest die in here? Is this where he died? Because look at the handprints. The handprints are like... I'll move this for a second. You see the handprints? And remember how the High Priest was running at Lady Kee'ra? He was running at Lady Kee'ra like this. That's how he was running at Lady Kee'ra. So did he, like, bounce his hands on this and he got stabbed here? Personally, put these red-tinted glasses on to see the luminals glow. Then I just press X whenever I want to spray some luminol. Areas where there was blood will react by turning blue. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. There we go. This is a huge blood stain. Something big must have happened here. Perhaps the High Priest's blood flowed in there from under the warped statue. There was definitely a lot of blood here, but it's impossible to say much else at this point. I'll just take a picture for now. Alright, luminol reactions don't show up in photos, so just have to take some notes. That should do it. He died at the door. I didn't notice it before, but the bloodstain looks like it was smeared away in one place. Is it because the warped revolving, a door passed over it? Follow the secret rebel hideout. There was a luminol reaction near the entrance. Well, I think that covers about everything, here. Mr. Wright, you shouldn't have come in here before the police. Sorry, but I was in a hurry. I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to. Her benevolence can attest to that. It is your fault for being so slow. I expect the police to work faster and more efficiently. Sorry. Well, Barbed Head, have you not already seen enough? I guess it's about time I got back to the temple and go over everything I've learned. Temple. Welcome back, Mr. Wright. How'd it go? Unfortunately, I didn't find anything conclusive. No way. I do not understand, Barbed Head. What don't you understand? Why you did not commit any misdeeds during your investigation. After all, lawyers plied their trade primarily through illicit means and methods. What? No, who told you that? My mother. Are you saying she was wrong? No, that cannot be. You must have committed some sort of misdeed right under my nose. If that were so, she watched her whole day following me around. She wasted her whole day following me around. What is it? Prosecutor Sadmani has need of me. What's going on? I must go perform a divination seance for Puhray Zealot. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before a trial begins. I see. Well, then the defense should have the right to look at it too. The third time will be the charm. My insights will finally bring you to your knees tomorrow. And I will teach that neophyte practitioner a lesson. Looks like the Royal Priestess is back with a vengeance. She's made a full recovery from when we started the investigation earlier today. I look forward to seeing you in court, Your Benevolence. Your overconfidence will be your downfall. That's from Star Wars. That Luke actually says that your overconfidence will be your downfall. You will not look so confident when I'm finished with you tomorrow. Actually, I'm not really looking forward to seeing her tomorrow. especially without any solid evidence. Why don't we go over everything you know so far? Alright, let's see here. Acolyte Zealot was killed during the rite with Lady Kee'ra's dagger. And Maya's fingerprints were found on it. That doesn't sound very good. I know, it's the very definition of being up a creek without a paddle. The day before his murder, Zealot enjoyed a meal with the High Priest's wife and Maya. I also learned about the spirit channeling here in Khura'in. None of that sounds very helpful. Oh, but I did hear something interesting. That the rebel-hunting Lady Kee'ra might be working for the Justice Minister. What? Really? Our kingdom is supposed to be ruled through faith and laws. We can't allow the people to be controlled by fear and violence. That sounds like something a rebel might say. It does. But that Lady Kee'ra really is one of the Minister Inga's subordinates. That would exonerate Miss Maya. Unfortunately, I have no way of proving it in court. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, I almost forgot about the secret rebel hideout we found at the Inner Sanctum. There was a bloodstain inside, but I don't know if or how it's connected to the case, though. Wow, a secret room at the Inner Sanctum. That'll be a huge hit with tourists. This kid really is an entrepreneur at heart. What I mean is that the hideout could be important to your case. Maybe, but it's still too early to tell. Looks like I'm heading into court without any useful evidence. We'll just have to pray something appears during tomorrow's trial. Princess Rayfa's divination seance might be my only hope. There could be some new information in it that might help. The divination seance, but I thought it always works against the accused. Not always. Right, it's like Dirk used to say. The royal priestess' insights are just another piece of evidence. Really? I never heard anyone say that before. It's hard to figure out, you sometimes, sir. Divination seances work both ways for the Defense Culpability Act. It's only now that the people of Khura'in find it strange. Mr. Wright, I just wanted to say, good luck tomorrow. Thanks. I can't afford to lose this next one. I've collected all sorts of information, but I haven't even started connecting the dots. If I could do that, I might have a shot at pulling off a win. Rayfa's insights will be the deciding factor. It's a huge gamble, but it's all I've got. So I guess it ends off here, guys. I'll have the next part for you guys as soon as I can. Looks like we're going to trial now. This case is definitely getting really interesting, and so far this case is my favorite case in Spirit of Justice. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, everyone.